my business partner and brother, Rob Corbett, and we're going to be talking to you tonight about, or tonight where we are. It might be morning where you are, and that's the beauty of audio, isn't it? We're kind of like having beside a fireplace, sitting back, relaxing. We're going to have what I call a fireside chat about the power of proper posture when it comes to following up on your leads with network marketing. And so, like I said, we're just going to sit back and chat as if you're in our living room right with us tonight. So, Rob, you all ready to get going?
Absolutely, Riff. Excited to do this call for the Cutting Edge Media crew, and let's get at it.
Great stuff. Well, you know, one of the things that I learned when I first started in my network marketing career was that there was a lot of important things to remember from a strategic perspective when you get involved. And I don't remember if you remember those days when you first started off, but
absolutely.
You know, why we're still here after spending so many years in this industry is because really, you know, we weren't timid. And this isn't, by the way, about going out and yelling at people and, you know, thumping your chest and all that kind of stuff. What proper posture is about is proper belief in what it is that you're representing in your business. And there's a fundamental truth in that if you don't believe in what it is that you're trying to convey to your prospect, your lead, and they're going to see through that pretty quick. And you can have the best darn business opportunity in the world, but if you don't come across as being strong, as being, I guess, I won't say assertive is the right word, but, you know, in your voice tones and so on, if you're meek and you talk low like this, and your body posture is low, then your prospect's just going to walk away saying, "Well, you don't really believe in it." Yet you might inside, but you're not projecting that. And I know, Rob, you were very good right from the get-go with regards to technique on some of the ways that you prepared to, one, talk on the phone to people or face-to-face to people. Maybe you can just kind of share some of the ways in which you prepared to do that. Not when you're actually doing it, but the actual preparation stage.
Yeah, I think what it is it's a mindset shift is what it is. And let's be real about this business is when people join an opportunity, they want to join an opportunity with a leader. They want to join with somebody who they know can help them create success in this industry. So what does that mean? That means when you're speaking with your leads or your prospects, you need to come across as that individual. You need to prepare yourself in advance. You need to practice whatever it takes to come across as having that posture when you're speaking to them. So what's that mean? That means what's a typical individual do, as we were talking about earlier. The typical individual in this industry tries to sell their prospect. Tries to, you know, they get a prospect on the phone, they get a lead on the phone, and they try to sell it. They're like, oh, and they sound desperate, they sound needy. If you come across it, you're never going to recruit anyone. If you do, they'll be as desperate as needy as you are, and they're not going to be any good to your business. So you need to come across as being someone who this individual sees as being a strong individual, being a successful individual, as being an individual who's going to help them become successful. So you don't want to, you know, if the typical person calls up one of their leads, they would, you know, they'd be, "Oh, I'm in this company, and you wanted information on it, and you know, here's my compensation plan, and let me tell you about this and the sales. You know, this is how we do the sales and stuff, the product," and they just put it out all over them. And you basically become a salesperson, and not a very good one at that. And people are going to run the other way. So what you want to do is you want to shift that. You've got to understand, you've got to get the mentality right away that you are onto something. You don't need this individual. You're in charge of the conversation. And I heard it best said years ago, and this is kind of where I adopted my mindset, was you've got to pretend you're Bill Gates. You know, Bill Gates was interviewing you for a $1 million a year position. Do you think he's going to be sitting there begging you to join his business, to come in? No, you're going to have to show Bill what you have and why why he should bring you into his organization. Exact same thing here. So you want to get the mindset that you're going to basically be interviewing people,
Right.
and have that posture. Give yourself permission to have that posture.
And if I might just kind of interject just for just a second, I recognize that that's pretty difficult in the beginning, because in the beginning, you've got to act like the leader. You've got to act like somebody that has multiples amount of people in your organization, but you don't really have that. And so you've got to take that attitude, I don't care if you join my business or not, right from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
But we recognize that's tough, because you really want this person to come into your business.
Yeah,
It's the first one.
and you're 100% correct. Anybody who's in a network marketing company loves to recruit, and it feels good. But what you got to get the attitude of is you just don't want to recruit anybody. And if you're just signing people to sign people, you're not going to do very well in the business, because you sign people who are not qualified to do this business, and that's what you need to be doing when you're prospecting people, is you need to be qualified, and you need to go through a series of questions. So you're 100% correct. It takes a little bit of time to get that, but the point of this sort of whole call, this whole training, is to make people aware, so they can, instead of going out there trying to hone their sales skills, they can get away from that, and they can realize right out of the gates that that's not how you become successful calling leads. Is you actually got to get this posture, this attitude of, I'm interviewing this person, this is my call, I'm going to be asking the questions. This individual's not going to control the conversation. If they do, give yourself permission to end the call. Right. Someone, if I was talking to you, Ruth, and you were just, if I was asking my questions and you were cutting me off, and I was saying, Ruth, have you, I've been in the home-based business before, and I've been trying to get these answers from you, and if you keep saying something along the lines of, wow, what's this all about? How much is it going to cost? What's in the product? I would just say, Rivers, I'm going to tell you what this is all about, my friend. This is about me interviewing you to see if your goals and your dreams are worthy of my time. And that guy's posture, and that is what that's going to do, is that's going to send a message to these people, your prospect, that you're a serious player here, and this is your game, and they can either choose the player to get in.
Okay, so